So let's go. Let's get into the Epstein files a little bit. So people are learning more about Howard Lutnick. Howard Lutnick is that man who looks like Trump's Jewish handler. He's always hovering over him. Looks like he's threatening him. Every time Trump is giving a speech recently, Howard Lutnick is right behind him, cackling. When they bring up the child sex trafficking ring, he's just cackling. It's hilarious to him. When they bring up 9/11, he starts doing this demonic laugh. And let's remember who Howard Lutnick is.
Jews have ruined the country.
Stop saying, hey. I don't endorse that. Howard Lutnick, correct, he is Jewish. He was the literal next door neighbor of Jeffrey Epstein. He said he found him disgusting, and then they found out that, wait, years after Epstein was convicted of sex crimes, he took a boat with all of his children, maybe not all, allegedly, in my opinion, but he specified in the emails, I'm bringing my kids, ages 4, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13. I'm not sure if I got the ages correct, as allegedly, in my opinion. But Howard Lutnick said that, was not friends with them at all. He took a plane and then a boat with all his nannies and his children, specifying the ages to Jeffrey Epstein's island. You know why? To get lunch. He just wanted to get lunch. He wasn't friends with them. He just took a boat after taking a plane with his kids, with his nannies, to get lunch on Epstein Island. Why the fuck would you go to that island? Not only this, Epstein's next door neighbor. There's Kozu at the door. Let me finish my train of thought. And on 9/11, you go back 10 years prior, Howard Lutnick was working at the World Trade Center. Howard Lutnick had a financial firm where he conveniently didn't show up to work that day. He was a workaholic, just like Larry Silverstein, who took out a big insurance policy and made billions of dollars from the World Trade Center crashing, which physicians are now saying and scientists are saying that it doesn't make any sense how the building collapsed like that. Conveniently, these workaholics were absent on the day. You know why? He had to take his son to kindergarten. He had to take his son to kindergarten that day. The same children, which were the reason why Epstein, or he brought his kids to Epstein. So his kids were the pretext behind him going to Epstein Island, and also the pretext for why almost his entire firm was wiped out on 9/11, and he miraculously survived. He was absent that day. And so we're learning more about this. Let me go grab the door real quick. Let me grab the door. Go read this real quick. People are learning a lot more about Howard Lutnick, who looks like Trump's handler. Read this real quick.
Why did you go to that island? Love you, brother.
Yes, why did you go to that island? Why did you go to that island? Please don't leak anything on here. Say hi to Kozu. Kozu's in here. We're going to be going to London. Or don't leak anything. Do you have any paperwork? Hide that. Damn, boo. Damn, man. I just said it 3 times.
It's in an envelope.
Okay, fine, cool.
Yeah. I have good news and I have bad news. Good news is I got the passport photos. Everything's fire.
Bad news is what?
No, I'm just fucking with you. There's no bad news.
Oh my god, bro. You spiking my cortisol for no reason. El Kozu. Wait, Kozu, say hi real quick. Yeah, they miss you.
Hi, guys.
Hey, he's not a dog eater. He's not, okay?
Yeah, I'm God.
Well, actually, see, you guys say that Russell Brand is saying that I hate dogs. Look, we love dogs so much that we both eat.
That's crazy.
We eat.
That's crazy.
We're breaking our fast eating dog. Hey, stop. Kozu's a great guy, bro. Shout out to Kozu.
Yeah, I'm God.
Super excited to bring him for that trip. Thank you for the $10. Rethinking about Elon. My point, communicating complex ideas is very difficult. Neuralink would allow a new level of complexity to be discussed, and with that, a dystopia world would be impossible. So are you defending Neuralink? Okay, if you want to put a microchip in your brain so that you could look at AI, that's up to you, but I'm not going to do that. What is he doing faces for?
Sorry.
What you been up to, Kozu? This is not my brother.
Should I say it on stream? I don't know. I've been working on a lot of stuff. Chat. I just graduated.
Congrats.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Yeah. Just graduated. Working on a couple things.
Are you a CCP spy? They keep saying that.
No, dude.
Or are you sent by Professor Jang to indoctrinate me to get us to hate America? America, very bad. Very, very bad. Don't do, oh, come on, bro.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, YouTube. Sorry.
It's fine.
It's fine?
You're good. You can do that all you want. Yeah, there you go. He's not a spy. Okay, so you graduated. Anything else?
Yeah, working here and there, a couple places. I started working at this game studio. I don't want to talk on it too much, but yeah, I've been doing well.
Okay, cool. All right, so Howard Lutnick saying the leak Epstein emails have discovered that Kash Patel's FBI was working to cover up the elite involvement. So right here, it's highlighted that saying some photographs depict victims, unknown identified females and males, former U.S. President, Secretary of State, and other celebrities. So all this allegedly is included in the redacted part because only 50% of the files have been released as of now. Wait, so Pete Hegseth has Kafir tattooed Arabic on his arm? The Secretary of War who was meeting with Netanyahu, does he really? Yikes. Yikes. So let's go see. People are learning a lot more. Let's learn more about Howard Lutnick. This has been going viral everywhere. What's he up to? What's old Howard Lutnick? Old Lutnick. And let me show you a picture of him if you guys don't know who Howard Lutnick is. Do you know who Howard Lutnick is, Kozu?
No.
Okay, so this is Howard Lutnick. I was detailing how he was absent on the... You haven't been watching the streams? I've been talking about this nonstop.
Dude, I'm not.
So this is Howard Lutnick. Do you know that he was absent on the day of 9/11? Almost his entire firm was wiped out in the crash. He was working in the World Trade Center with his financial firm, but you know why he missed work that day? A workaholic who almost never missed a day, just like Larry Silverstein, who put out an insurance policy. He was also absent on the day and made billions of dollars for the insurance claim.
That's crazy.
Do you know why Howard Lutnick was absent that day? He had to take his son to kindergarten.
Oh, I was going to say because his nose is too big.
Oh, my God.
Oh, sorry.
Well, okay, his nose is very large, but another one here. So, Epstein was first convicted of sex crimes in 2008. And around 2010, Howard Lutnick took all of his kids to Epstein Island on a boat. And he says he wasn't friends with Epstein, even though they're next-door neighbors. Epstein lived in Building 9. Howard Lutnick lived in Building 11 on East 81st Street and Upper East Side. Not only this, he says he wasn't friends with them at all. We're learning more that they were able to broker that deal. The person who brokered that deal and signed the paperwork, they were also the ones filming the buildings being crashed on 9/11. So not only did he miss 9/11 because he was bringing his son to kindergarten, but he also brought his children to Epstein Island 10 years later. Yeah. So does this look suspicious to you? This is all allegedly, in my opinion.
His name is Lutnick, right?
Howard Lutnick, and yes, he's the Secretary of Commerce. He's Trump's handler. He's always cackling about pedophile rings right behind Trump. He looks like he's seen next to Trump everywhere.
Yo, you should do a collab with him.
Okay, I can't even speak to this kid, man. I can't even speak to this dude. So let's go see what's going on here. Let's go see.
Bad.
Tell me, what are the odds that the notary to the deed of what was both Epstein and Howard Lutnick's property at 11 East 71st Street, because yes, Epstein owned that property before Lutnick owned that property. It was transferred to Epstein for just $10 in 1992. Epstein passed the deed.
So, you understand?
Kinda.
That building here, Upper East Side, how much did these brownstones go for? You live in New York. You're from New York.
Yeah.
Brownstones like that in Manhattan, millions of dollars, right? Yeah. Especially Upper East Side, they could maybe even go for 10 mil.
That's it.
You know how much it cost for Howard Lutnick?
How much?
$10.
Shut the fuck up.
$10. You weren't. That's what she just said. This is what this. Video
Why did you go to that island?
Why the fuck would you go to that island? Cozy went to that island, allegedly, in my opinion.
What?
To a Comet Trust in 1996, again for just $10, of which a Guido Goldman was a trustee, the son of one of
Guido Goldman.
Who the fuck is that?
What does that name remind you of? Guido Goldman.
I don't know.
the founders of the World Jewish Congress. And then it was passed to Lutnick in 1996 for, again, just $10. Who notarized the deed transferring this property from Jeffrey Epstein to the Comet Trust in 1996? A Gary Pollard just so happened to be in the perfect spot at the perfect time to record the perfect shot of the South Tower collapsing on September 11th, 2001. Is it just a weird coincidence that Jeffrey Epstein and Howard Lutnick owned 911 East 71st Street?
So does this change your perception about 9/11? You know, remember, so 9/11 was the pretext for the United States to go and intervene in the Middle East and bomb all these countries indiscriminately, like Afghanistan, Libya, Iraq. All this for the war on terror. to install new governments backed by ISIS and Al-Qaeda, which we now figured out were CIA operations that were probably soldiers that they found, that they tortured so much they turned into bioweapons. Trump is now bragging about the fact that he installed Al-Qaeda in Syria. This happened last week. I mean, you're making the face, but does this change the idea that you have about 9/11? We're New Yorkers, right? You were born after 9/11. I was born before. I have a different perception. But when I was growing up, they said because of 9/11 that they can't build any mosques around the World Trade Center. I remember this being a major point of discussion.
Wait, actually?
Yeah. They didn't want any mosques to be built around downtown Manhattan, Fidei, and Tribeca because it was disrespectful to the victims.
What the fuck?
But now we're learning about what's really happening. Does this change your point of view at all? And I don't know if you could even say this on YouTube. We're going to go more in depth about 9/11, but I'm going to have to cut the YouTube stream real quick. YouTube, come on over to Kick.
Yeah, dead ass.
We can't talk about this on YouTube. We're cutting right now. Kozu, tell YouTube to come to Kick. Pin in chat.
Come to Kick, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Kick.com/SNEAKO. I'm going to pin it. There we go. Oh, there we go. YD just pinned it. There you go. Click that link. Done. Come on over.
YD. He's got a wide D. Sorry.
Kozu, dude.
It's
Can you lock in,
Ramadan.
bro?
I'm sorry,
Can
I'm
you
sorry.
lock in? It's Ramadan, bro.
Yeah, dead ass.
Well, it's Ramadan. What were you doing yesterday? You want to leak it?
I went on a date with a girl. Yo, chat. Wait, can I ask chat that question I asked you?
Go ahead.
Yo, is it weird for somebody to enjoy willingly sucking toes? Chat. Like, if you're fucking a girl, like, would you suck her toes willingly? And I had this debate with a friend, bro.
They're all saying yes.
Yeah, it's weird, right? It's weird.
Okay.
Okay, thank God. Thank God
Okay.
everyone here's normal.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No. I mean, it's a very valid question. These are the
ass.
pressing questions right now. Very pressing stuff. Okay, moving. Let's go see more about this. All right.
People are saying it's not weird?
They're all saying it's weird.
Okay.
So here's more. Howard Lutnick won't survive if this video. He won't survive this video if we make noise. Lutnick was in fact close with Epstein. He was in business with them, and he invited Epstein to several events and bought a building from me. Spelled bought wrong. Why is Howard Lutnick lying? Again, let's see. So now that we're on Kick and now that we've left YouTube,
Nigga. Sorry.
has your idea about 9/11 changed at all? You know what it's like. 9/11 is you were born after, so it's a little bit different for Gen Z.
Yeah.
People turn it into a joke, but this is a defining traumatic event for this city, right? Does this change your perception about it at all?
I kind of already knew that, like, it was just, like, Jews.
No, don't say that.
Okay, sorry. But, like, you know,
He's joking. But
yeah, I'm joking.
You want to have a
joking,
career,
I'm
bro.
joking, I'm joking, but yeah. I mean, yeah, I kind of already knew, like, that shit was, like, an operation on God.
An inside job.
An inside job type shit.
Right. And what is confirmed, too, is that they did question many dancing Israelis that they thought were connected to intelligence. That is part of the original 9/11 commission, but a lot of that got brushed under the rug.
That one I know about. Didn't they fail the polygraph test? Yeah, them. Ugh.
But you are joking. You have to reiterate. Let me mute you real quick. What, you already graduated?
Yeah, I already graduated, so it doesn't matter.
Oh!
Yeah.
It's the gym! Okay, cool. We're moving on. Let's go see this video.
This is Howard Lutnick. He is our current U.S. Secretary of Commerce for Donald Trump. He's also the CEO of financial services juggernaut Cantor Fitzgerald, which is currently being run by his two sons. Howard Lutnick is an interesting fellow. He was recently on a podcast discussing his relationship, or lack thereof, with Jeffrey Epstein.
We are in number 11, and he lives in number 9.
And it was riddled with
That's crazy.
Is that just a strange coincidence?
That's like Gary the numbers guy numerology type shit.
Oh yeah, it's Kabbalah magic. Yeah.
Yeah, on God.
You're not into You're not into Kabbalah
Not
witchcraft.
Not really.
What do you think about that numerology stuff?
I feel like it's like the same shit as astrology, to be honest.
Yeah, it's both witchcraft.
Yeah.
It's like witchcraft for men.
Yeah, I kind of don't believe in it, but.
What do you mean? What are you saying about?
I mean, like, I don't know. I did a numerology reading, like, through ChatGPT, and, like, they were saying, like, some positive shit.
Of course they are, because they want you to believe in that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
On God. What is this?
This is. I'll get to that later. That's ABZ and someone. Okay, moving on. Continuing on. This video is good. Let's lock in.
lies. The first lie is his connection to Jeffrey Epstein.
So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
So for starters, they were in business together. They were invested into the same company. We can see that the signature of Jeffrey Epstein's right here, as well as the signature of Howard Lutnick. We even have an FBI intake form from a whistleblower from his company that states not only was he connected with Epstein, but there was
want to touch your
fraudulent...
succulent Filipino little ass, bro, please.
What the fuck was that?
Can you respond to this guy? Can you? Because this is
I
like...
want to teach you what? Fucking Mohammed. Your name is Mohammed.
It's
bro.
obviously not his name. He's just doing that.
Mohammed, bro. Get the fuck out of the street, bro. Mohammed.
W. Kozu.
activity going on in his charity that has to do with 9/11. Now, how does this guy have to do with 9/11? His company, Cantor Fitzgerald, suffered 658 deaths that day, almost 1/4 of the total people killed on 9/11. Now, Howard would narrowly...
I didn't know that stat. So 1/4 of the deaths of 9/11, because they say 3,000 people died, 1/4 of them were Howard Lutnick's employees. 1/4. And do you know afterwards that he set up all these charities and all these foundations? And there was a whistleblower that leaked information to the FBI. He alleged that all of that charity, Howard Lutnick pocketed all of it. So all these fundraisers he was pocketing. And also in the Epstein files, did you know, Ghislaine Maxwell, 1 month after 9/11, she wrote an email fantasizing about the fact that the entire Arab race was going to be genocided. She was talking...
That's a weird-ass kink, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's like worse than sucking toes.
They were kinky people, bro.
Yeah, type shit.
escaped the 9/11 attacks, blaming his wife for pressuring him to bring his son to their first day of kindergarten, which is interesting because we have multiple sources that say this from the nyc.gov website. The 2001-2000 school year opened citywide for high school students on Wednesday, September 5th, and elementary school the following day. He also does a lot of business with Larry Silverstein, famously the gentleman who put on a 99-year lease agreement on the Twin Towers about 2 months before the attack.
So he got an insurance policy 2 months before the attack and for 99 years, and he cashed out. Larry Silverstein, can you take a guess what type of person he is? Yeah, Silverstein. And that made a lot of people question it, like, how convenient that you took out this terrorist, really specific insurance policy right before the September 11th attacks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Very strategic and very profitable of him.
Type shit.
It's almost like he had inside knowledge.
Larry also built and owned World Trade 7 that he bought in 1987.
Do you know the story about World Trade Center 7?
No.
So that was the building that did not get hit by a plane. Do you know that it crumbled?
But why?
It wasn't hit by a plane.
Yeah, but
So
why?
some people say it was a controlled demolition. You know, it was not connected to the main Twin Towers fell, but World Trade Center 7 went down. It looked like a controlled demolition. It wasn't hit by a plane. So they said it was because of the residue nearby, that the residue made the building collapse.
Doesn't make sense.
Executives also state that from the $135 million payout that was given by American Airlines, that Mr. Lutnick pocketed anywhere between 15 to 25 million of those
What do
dollars.
you think, ABT, a British channel, saying the second tower got hit before it even did?
Did you know that? The BBC, British channel, the British news reported the second tower fell before it was even hit by a plane. So there was a time difference, but the first plane hit and then the second plane hit. BBC reported the second tower fell before it was even struck. How did they know that?
Wait, Big Black Hawk?
What?
Sorry. That's crazy, bro. On God.
Himself. But we're not even close to done on this guy, because his sons that are currently running Cantor Fitzgerald are the ones who actually bet against the very tariffs that Mr. Lutnick is involved with Donald Trump. Cantor Fitzgerald and co. say that they have the capacity to buy the rights to hundreds of millions of dollars in potential refunds from companies who have paid Trump's tariffs. And since the Supreme Court recently ruled against these specific types of tariffs, Cantor is set to profit about 3 to 5x, around $10 million on this investment. And he and his sons have remained completely silent on it. Now, in the same interview where he says, "I'm never going to do business with this man, he's gross."
It's gross. The guy's gross. Right with my wife. And like, he's gross. The guy's gross.
He also mentions that he bought a property in 1998 that happened to be next door to Jeffrey Epstein, officially moving in 2005.
So we rebuild our house. We move in 2005.
But this is yet another lie simply by omission, because he knows exactly who he bought that property from, and the fact that he didn't truly buy it because he didn't buy it at market value. In 1988, Sam Conversion Corp., formed by Les Wexner, buys 11 East 71st Street. Here's the deed between Sam Conversion.
Do you know who Les Wexner is?
Not really, no.
Les Wexner is the financier behind Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, shit.
So this is somebody who should be considered a co-conspirator. Jeffrey Epstein had all this money. He had islands. He had properties in Florida. He had properties in New Mexico. He had that big estate in Manhattan. He had the island. Leslie Wexner and Leon Black, two Jewish Zionists. Leslie Wexner is also the CEO of Victoria's Secret. Maybe Victoria's Secret was her getting fucked on an island. Raped on an island. So that's who was giving him all his money. Like, Jeffrey Epstein didn't do anything. In the emails, Jeffrey Epstein reiterates over and over again, we let the goyim work in the real world and do all the hard work. We'll make money from Wall Street. We'll make money from shorting, from stocks, from shipping. You know, we'll make money from transaction fee. We'll let the goyim, people like Kozu, go slave away in the rice fields while they take all the money from the transaction fees.
All right, bro.
And Leslie Wexner, yep, he's, from the beginning, the biggest financier. Also, his lawyer, do you know who Leslie Wexner's lawyer is? Alan Dershowitz. Alan Dershowitz, again, rich Jewish Zionist. Somebody that allegedly Piers Morgan says is a very respected man. Somebody that he considers a friend. Piers Morgan pictured with Ghislaine Maxwell. But Alan Dershowitz, Epstein's lawyer, and also running defense allegedly for Leslie Wexner. And recently, Alan Dershowitz, that lawyer, he said himself, like, oh, I didn't go to the island. I just got a couple massages from Epstein's girls.
Wexner buys 11 East 71st Street. Here's the deed between Sam Conversion Corp. written out for 1988. In 1992, the home was transferred to a trust named 11 East 71st Street, the property address, and that trust was run by Jeffrey Epstein. December 1992, Jeffrey Epstein, trustee of the 11 East 71st Street Trust, being transferred in consideration for $10. And here's the address of the property. And it just so happens that the address for Sam Conversion and for Jeffrey Epstein's trust of 11 East 71st Street is the same exact address listed on the Limited Incorporated, which is the corporation that owns Victoria's Secret, run by Les Wexner. Then 1996, the Comet Trust buys the property. The Comet Trust, which the main trustee for that was a man by the name of Guido Goldman. Guido Goldman's father was the co-founder of the World Jewish Congress and president of the World Zionist Organization. But from the Comet Trust, it would then be transferred to Howard Lutnick for $10. Here.
$10.
Damn, bro. I wish I had that deal.
Here's the address, here's the $10, and here we can see Guido Goldman of the Comet Trust going to Howard Lutnick, the home right next to Jeffrey Epstein's. He also claimed in this podcast that he only met him that one time at his property for a home tour.
Your neighbor would like to invite you over for coffee. And he opens the doors, and there's a massage table in the middle of the room. And then he gets weirdly close to me. And he says, and the right kind of massage.
But that story doesn't match up with the files, because in 2009, he wanted to speak with Jeffrey Epstein. In 2011, here's an email saying he needs to return your...
Again, this is a father, this is a man with a lot of kids. This is years after, remember, Epstein was convicted of sex crimes in 2008. And guess where, do you know where Jeffrey Epstein fled after he was first convicted of sex crimes? Take a guess what country he went to.
Israel.
Got it! This is where pedophiles go to hide after they're convicted. Right now, Kevin Spacey's there tap dancing for being a good goyim and tap dancing for them. But this is where pedophiles can hide, because you know why they go to Israel? You know why American Jewish pedophiles flee to Israel?
How come?
Because they won't get extradited. They won't be convicted. Israel will harbor them. So they get protected. They can commit all the crimes they want in America. They can dance and do their stuff and then go right back to Israel and be fine. Some people are saying Russia because people like Piers Morgan are saying, was he a Russian spy? Does any of this connect to Russia, Kozu? No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all, huh?
Call in 2011. Also, they scheduled some drinks, and here's the confirmation that those drinks actually happened. Then they go to the actual island, and the island email is very interesting because it was actually sent by his wife.
Now, my wife is standing here, so she looks at me, and I look at her, and we say, I'm sorry, we have to go. My wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
December 21st, 2012, Allison Lutnick sends an email to organize a meeting on Pedo Island. Also claimed no philanthropy efforts with Epstein.
So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy.
For $2,700 per person, you get a photo with Hillary. And Lutnick went ahead and invited Epstein to this fundraiser in 2015. Again in 2017, another dinner. And what does Epstein do? Let's give him $50K for it. It's for Howard. And the sister...
So he says he's discussing he would never hang out with him, right? Seems like they're having a lot of dinners, a lot of events. He's taking a flight and then a boat over to his island with all of his children, right? You consider us friends, right, Kozu?
Yeah, sure.
How many times have we had dinner?
Like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, how many times does it look like Lutnick and Jeffrey Epstein? People that, disgusting guy that he would never be friends with. It seems like they're having dinner just even through the emails, at least maybe a couple dozen times, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like they were a lot closer than we are. Not only that, they were next door neighbors. A guy that now he's saying is disgusting. Don't they seem like best pals?
Damn, bro. I don't even know what to say, bro.
Sister of Howard Lutnick, Edie Lutnick, was one of the founding citizens of Terramar. Terramar being a philanthropy, quote-unquote, project that was run by Ghislaine Maxwell. Fergie, seen here with Ghislaine Maxwell, is the ex-wife of Prince Andrew. She owed Epstein money. She had...
Again, Prince Andrew was one of the first people to be prosecuted. He was questioned by the police and he was released. Prince Andrew, all over the Epstein files in England, but that was the first one, and people are saying that he was the one, you know, behind all the pizza. Do you know about pizza?
That's child porn, right?
Allegedly, in my opinion. Allegedly, in my opinion.
It kind of is, though.
Yeah, we're going to have to bleep that out for the YouTube video.
Oh, fuck,
can you
sorry.
text YD to go bleep that when you said CP?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. El Kozu.
email saying my love and gratitude for you. You're the brother I always wished for. Now, Howard knew Fergie, and to my understanding, they're still close because Fergie still follows Howard on Instagram. And Howard, only following 146 people, also follows Sarah. They're mutuals. Sarah frequented the World Trade Center, with floors 101 to 105 being where Cantor Fitzgerald was housed. And Miss Fergie here was supposed to be in World Trade Center 1 on the morning of September 11, 2001 at the 101st floor, but happened to not make it due to traffic. Here's another email with Epstein discussing Cantor Fitzgerald and Mr. T, whoever that is. Was able to find the term sheet they're referencing in that email. Again, Mr. T. And after stating he had no contact.
Wait a sec. Mr. T, do you know who played Mr. T in the movie The A-Team that came out in 2008?
No.
Rampage Jackson.
Nah, you did a stream with him, bro. You did a stream with him. Nah, bro.
Nah, I like Rampage Jackson. He's not actually Mr. T. It's just a movie.
With him after this one meeting. Not only did he go to the island.
Actually, you're right. Send Mr. T. Mr. T could be Trump. That's actually good. That's pretty smart.
That they were also talking as late as 2018. In an email subjected Frick, Howard Lutnick says to Jeffrey Epstein, "Are you aware as to them building to block our park views? What should we do about it?" Even though the 2 is redacted, we're able to find the other email, and in his very long-handed communication style says, "No, I was not." And then we found the article for the Frick property they were discussing that was going to potentially block their view.
Yeah. That's my story. A one and absolutely done.
Howard Lutnick has historically used his powerful positions for financial gain, and by any standard, he is a liar. And one of the many liars that dwell within this den of corruption that we are slowly mapping out throughout the United States.
Over a 14-year period, I did not have any relationship with him. I barely had anything to do with that person. Okay?
Stop the cap. Well, here's Howard Lutnick now. Once a leader of the biggest financial firms in the world. Here he is. There you go. Secretary of Commerce. Next to Trump everywhere. Doesn't this look like a handler, Kozu?
Yeah.
Who does it look like is really in charge here?
Orange man bad.
Yeah, but if you look at the story of the pharaohs and how the priests are really in charge throughout history.
So right now, President-elect Trump, this is...
It's clear that Trump is just a puppet. Like, it's not really, he's not really in charge. He's saying orange man bad. Like, yeah, Trump is bad, but really goes much deeper than that. Who's in charge of him? Who's putting his arm around Donald Trump? Did you see Trump next to Mark Levin? Mark Levin, rich Jewish Zionist. He puts his arm around Trump like this. And he says, he's the first Jewish president. You know what Trump said?
What did he say?
He went like this. So you have to do it. He goes, "It's true.
It's true."
That's what Trump said.
Damn, bro.
When Mark Levin called him the first Jewish president.
That's crazy.
It's all real. It's true. It's true. And Coach, let me ask you this: who do you think is in charge based off this photo right here?
Yeah, look at that nigga, bro. Just got him by the balls.
Yeah. There's Howard Lutnick and J.D. Vance, vice president, funded by Peter Thiel.
Honestly, though, Trump is W. Goyam. Like,
why do you say? He's a good guy?
Yeah. Oh, good guy.
Look at him. Continuing on. So that's Howard Lutnick. Important stuff to know. Let's look back. Let's look even deeper into 9/11. So this is the original investigation. People have known for a long time that the 9/11 Commission report has been almost as redacted as the Epstein files. Let's go in a time machine. Let's go back to 2001.
Asked this week about another sprawling investigation and the detention of 60 Israelis since September 11th, the Bush administration treated the questions like hot potatoes.
I would just refer you to the Department of Justice with it. I'm not familiar with the report.
I'm aware that some Israeli citizens have been detained. With respect to why they are being detained and the other aspects of your question, whether it's because they are in intelligence services or what they were doing, I will defer to the Department of Justice and the FBI to answer that.
Beyond the...
Did you hear that? He's aware that Israeli intelligence, they were being detained, and instead of answering the question, what does he say? He says, I'm just going to defer. Go to the DOJ, go to the FBI. I'm not going to answer it. I'm not going to answer it.
Hi.
60 apprehended or detained and many deported since September 11th. Another group of 140 Israeli individuals have been arrested and detained in this year in what government documents describe as, quote, an organized intelligence gathering operation designed to, quote, penetrate government facilities. Most of those individuals said they had served in the Israeli military, which is compulsory there, but they also had, most of them, intelligence expertise and either worked for Amdocs or other companies in Israel that specialize in wiretapping. Earlier this week, the Israeli embassy here in Washington denied any spying against or in the United States.
They deny it, so it's not true.